Hi there! In our previous episode, we explored the phenomenon of people unwittingly praying to fallen Devas or fallen gods. But how does this happen? What circumstances lead to such unintentional worship? Today, let's examine a specific example and investigate further to uncover the answers. Welcome to Unveiling Buddhism, episode 39. This revered site in Bangkok, Thailand, is dedicated to a four-faced deity and attracts millions of tourists annually. It is popularly known as the Erawan Shrine. But here's the mystery. Nobody really knows who this image represents. Some say he is Brahma, the Hindu god of creation. Others believe he is a four-faced Buddha who grants wishes. Meanwhile, Buddhists argue that he is a Buddhist Brahma named Sahampati. So does anyone truly know who they are praying to? Let's dive into the mystery. Could it be that Thai Buddhists are praying to the Hindu Brahma? In Hinduism, Brahma is the god of creation. As the creator deity, there can only be one Brahma. However, Buddhism does not subscribe to the concept of a creator being. So why do people identify this image as the Hindu Brahma? And if he is indeed Brahma, the creator god, why is he so popular in a Buddhist country that doesn't even acknowledge his existence? Now, if you scrutinize the two images, you will notice the differences.
Wait, let me guess. The Erawan Brahma has 8 arms while the Hindu Brahma has 4? And the postures are different too.
So if this isn't Hindu Brahma, then who is it? Perhaps it represents a Buddhist Brahma? That would certainly make more sense in a predominantly Buddhist country, wouldn't it? To answer this question, let's travel back to the 1950s to trace the origins of this image. Prior to that time, Brahma worship was virtually non-existent in Thailand. Unlike today, images of Brahma were scarcely found in the Buddhist society of Thailand back then. In the 1950s, construction began on Thailand's first 5-star hotel, the Erawan Hotel at the Raj Prasong intersection. Unfortunately, the project was plagued by various misfortunes, and negative rumors began to circulate within society. Anxious to address the concerns of a deeply superstitious populace, the hotel management decided to consult a famous astrologer. After all, few people would be willing to work or stay in an unlucky place. The astrologer advised installing a Buddhist Brahma in the hotel to provide a source of spiritual solace. But what does a Buddhist Brahma look like? To address this challenge, the government of the time assigned a team of artists from Thailand's Fine Arts Department to conceptualize a design. With no existing model to follow, the artists referenced Hindu artwork and made adjustments to distinguish it from a Hindu Brahma. Thus, Brahma appeared for the first time in religious history. Once again, mankind created a new god. This demonstrates the power of faith and how its efficacy depends on our beliefs. In just 68 years, this image of Brahma has become so popular that it can now be found in nearly all Thai Buddhist temples, and its worship is spreading across the globe. Creating new gods and modifying existing ones is not a novel phenomenon in human history. Archaeological discoveries have consistently reaffirmed this fact. Recently, people in remote villages in India began personifying the coronavirus as a goddess and praying to her. Naturally, this practice faded with the advent of vaccines. Believing in the supernatural is often a coping mechanism during times of bewilderment or ignorance. However, this is not encouraged by the Buddha. Instead, he teaches that it is better to develop wisdom and engage in wholesome actions to achieve happiness and well-being. Since this statue represents a Buddhist Brahma, the next question is, which Buddhist Brahma exactly? In the Buddhist Pali Canon, Brahma refers to Devas or gods residing in heavens beyond the realm of desire or Kamaloka. Among these countless Brahmas, Sahampati holds a special place in the hearts of Buddhists. To understand why, let's continue with the life story of Buddha Shakyamuni, where we left off in episode 36. After meeting his first disciples, the merchant brothers Tapusa and Balika, the Buddha reflected deeply on human suffering, and great compassion arose within him. This is known as the internal cause for teaching. However, the Buddha was also aware that the profound dharma is difficult to comprehend. At that crucial moment, Sahampati Brahma suddenly appeared and urged the Buddha to teach, citing that some beings had only slight defilements and could understand his teachings. This is known as the external cause for teaching. Sahampati's supplication prompted the Buddha to share his wisdom, making Sahampati a significant figure in Buddhism. So who exactly is this mysterious Brahma? Sahampati was a disciple of Buddha Kassapa, the predecessor of the historical Buddha Shakyamuni. Under Buddha Kassapa, Sahampati attained the third stage of enlightenment, known as the anagami state, which freed him from 5 key mental afflictions. These are belief in a permanent self, attachment to rites and rituals, skeptical doubt, sensuous craving, and ill will. Having achieved the anagami state, Sahampati was reborn in the pure abode, heavens, Sudavasa, where he continued to cultivate his mind toward full enlightenment. These pure abode heavens lie beyond Kamaloka, or the realm of desire. They are eternal and unchanging, free from destruction that occurs at the end of an eon. They serve as the final safe haven for those on the brink of liberation. The Buddhist Brahma image, popular across Thai Buddhist temples, can be seen as a representation of the esteemed Buddhist Brahma, Sahampati. Moreover, this image also serves as a reminder for Buddhists to cultivate loving kindness, compassion, appreciative joy, and equanimity. These 4 wholesome mental states, collectively known as the Brahma Vihara, or the 4 immeasurables, are symbolized by the 4 faces of the statue.
Wow! Thanks for the insightful information. Therefore, this famous statue worshipped worldwide isn't the Hindu god of creation, but a unique Buddhist icon, born from a mix of art and astrology. Although Buddhists highly regard the story of Sahampati Brahma, that doesn't explain why there are so many worshippers at the Erawan Shrine. Moreover, I thought Buddhists refrain from praying?
That's right. Although the story of Sahampati Brahma is highly regarded by Buddhists, it does not fully explain the massive number of worshippers in the Erawan Shrine. And you're right. Traditionally, Buddhists refrain from praying in the way that's common in other religions.
I've also heard that local Thai people used to say that the Brahma statue only blesses foreigners. Is that true?
Yes, that was the belief for some time because only tourists seemed to think their prayers were being answered. It shows how efficacy often depends on belief. But of course, a Buddhist Brahma wouldn't be discriminatory, as rumors of its efficacy spread among Asian tourists. Foreign media began featuring the shrine on TV programs hosted by Asian celebrities. And so, a piece of artwork created by a group of artists became a global phenomenon. That's how folk religion works, through hearsay. If you believe in something, you attribute your blessings to it. For example, if you believe a porcelain cat with a raised paw brings you wealth, you credit all your good fortune to it. Such beliefs are part of folk Buddhism, where practices are not supported by Buddhist scriptures and were not taught by Buddha. Instead, people create their own beliefs out of ignorance and follow them. And here's the funny part. Since most tourists are unaware of the Buddhist Brahma's history, they think it's a special type of Buddha and even began addressing it as a 4-faced Buddha while praying.
That's fascinating. It's amazing how beliefs evolve and spread, even when they stray far from the original teachings. But how can praying be a bad thing? After all, prayer is a unique coping mechanism of mankind. People find the courage to face adversity through prayers.
True. Prayer can be a powerful source of comfort, but let's explore an urban tale related to this statue to understand the potential pitfalls. According to an urban legend, an Asian female celebrity prayed at the Erawan Shrine and her prayers were answered. She later dreamed that the deity instructed her to dance naked in gratitude. Ignoring the dream allegedly led to misfortune in her life, prompting her to eventually fulfill the deity's demand by cordoning off the Erawan Shrine from public access while she danced naked. While this story may seem far-fetched, it has influenced some to believe that it is the correct way to worship the Buddhist Brahma. Recently, there have been reports of people hiring strippers to perform in front of Buddhist Brahma statues in Taiwan. Therefore, our ignorance can lead to distorted views and misunderstandings. Our psychology shapes the personality of our deity or god. For instance, an intolerant and violent person might envision their god as unforgiving and wrathful, while a calculating individual might picture a demanding deity who requires human sacrifice as an offering of gratitude.
This is troubling. It shows how easily beliefs can be distorted.
Indeed, history has shown that misguided interpretations under a religious banner can lead to significant harm. A Buddhist Brahma would never demand such acts of thanksgiving. It seems like that a fallen Gandhava, rather than the true deity, influenced this story. Such misunderstandings can distort the true nature of Devas or gods, leading people to believe that gods or even the Buddha seek sensual pleasures. This corrupts and subverts the Buddha Dharma. Therefore, our ignorance and wrong views create false beliefs, projecting negativity onto the object of our worship. As a result, we might end up associating with malevolent forces instead of the benevolent ideals represented by our religious symbols. So, do we really know who we are praying to? It depends on our own minds. Misguided beliefs can align us with fallen devas or fallen gods if we are misinformed or harbor negative traits. Instead of praying to supernatural beings, it is better to cultivate wisdom and practice wholesome actions, speech, and thoughts. By doing so, wise and benevolent deities will be naturally attracted to us and offer their support. Stay tuned to our channel for insights grounded in Buddhist scriptures, not mere hearsay. Your understanding and practice can truly make a difference in your life. See you next time.